In his book, The Truth About Crypto, Rick Edelman recounts a time he asked a technologist to explain the blockchain. The technologist responded, fire, the wheel, the internet, the blockchain. These things the technologists believe are the foremost impactful innovations in human history. We won't dispute the host of innovations you could add to this short list, but the point is blockchain technology is revolutionary and can change the way we do things. Many people believe that blockchain is the key enabler of Web3 technology, or the third iteration of the internet. Web 1, the first version of the internet from 1990 to 2000, allowed users to read and host information, but was quite limited in what it could do. It was like one giant digital book of information. There was no engaging with each other's content, no interacting, no liking, no commenting or sharing your status. Web 2, the version of the internet we use today, allows users to read, write, and interact with each other through third parties, now commonly known as big tech. Think Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Amazon, and Google. The problem here is that big tech collects and exploits our data for targeted marketing and other uses, and we can't do much about this because there's no alternative, until now. Web 3 is a new and emerging version of the internet underpinned by blockchain technology. In the Web 3 world, users interact and transact with each other directly or peer-to-peer, thanks to blockchain technology. Ideally, there is no need for users to rely on third-party enablers or big tech to get things done. This allows users to reclaim ownership of their data, their transactions, and protect their online privacy. A blockchain is a publicly distributed ledger that uses cryptography to secure data. A ledger is a database that stores information, usually financial transactions like deposits and withdrawals. Ledgers are used everywhere throughout the world's financial systems and keep track of all the money moving within and between companies and economies. These ledgers are privately managed, and there are two main problems with privately managed ledgers. Firstly, they're outdated, and secondly, they require trust, and as a result, are vulnerable to fraud and abuse. The sum of these two problems costs the financial system billions of dollars every single year. Rick Edelman asks us to consider a ledger that exists on the blockchain. Instead of the data being managed and maintained privately by a centrally located server, blockchain ledgers are managed and maintained by a distributed network of computers. The data on a privately managed ledger is, well, private. You can't see it or access it, whereas a blockchain, like the Bitcoin blockchain, was designed to be public so that anyone can see its transactions for free at any time online. We call this an open source blockchain, whereby you can access transactions made on the blockchain with one simple Google search. Even though everyone can see the data, no single bad actor or group of bad actors can change, copy, erase, or tamper with the data. This, Edelman continues, is revolutionary. He says, "You see, when I look at data on your private ledger, I'm forced to trust you when you say the data is legitimate. This is why our global financial system is known as the trust economy. We do business with each other because we trust each other, but trust has limits. So I hire auditors to confirm that what you're telling me is true." He continues, "Trust, or lack thereof, is the reason buying a house is so cumbersome. After you sign the sales contract, you hire a settlement attorney to conduct a title search to verify the seller really does own the deed and has the legal right to sell it to you. Then you buy the title insurance in case the title search was flawed. Meanwhile, you apply for a mortgage and the lender verifies that you really do have the income and assets you claim to have. All of this adds months and tens and thousands of dollars to the transaction, none of which increase the value of the house. You're spending money on verification because we operate in a trust economy. Blockchains eliminate all of that. It replaces the trust economy with an authentication economy. Simply put, we don't need to trust a person or institution to act in our best interests when we can trust blockchain technology to do what it is programmed to do. No more ineffective paper processing, no more real estate agents, attorneys, brokers, or insurance agencies. In fact, anyone whose job revolves around processing paperwork is theoretically replaceable by blockchain technology. So how does the blockchain actually work? The big difference between a normal ledger and a blockchain ledger is how the data is structured, secured, and stored. A normal ledger structures data in tables and stores that data on servers that look like this, and are usually housed in big server rooms that look like this. If anything were to happen to that server room, like a fire, a power outage, or a cyber attack, it would take days, if not weeks, to recover people's data. Cyber attacks often mean people's data and privacy are compromised altogether, which can have a huge impact on people's confidence in entities that they trust to keep their personal data safe and private. A blockchain, on the other hand, collects transaction data, structures that data into blocks, and links those blocks together using cryptography to form one long chain of blocks. Hence, the blockchain. Each block is chained onto the previous block and ordered chronologically. Let's think about this in order of events. As enough people transact on the blockchain, the data is entered into a fresh block. Once the block is filled with data, it's added to the blockchain. Each block contains, first, transaction data, like information including the date of each transaction, the senders, the receivers, and the purpose of the transaction. 2, a unique hash, which is like a fingerprint or unique identifier for that block. And 3, the hash of the previous block. There's a number of different ways a blockchain can achieve this, and we'll go into further detail as we continue learning. Fun fact, the first block in a blockchain is called the Genesis block, or block 0. Here are some key features that make the blockchain unique. A blockchain is distributed. All computers or nodes in a blockchain network maintain the ledger and validate transactions. Decentralized. There's no hierarchy or central authority calling the shots. Immutable. Data on the blockchain is permanent and cannot be changed, falsified, copied, deleted, or destroyed. Public. Blockchain is usually public and available for everyone to see, interact with on fair grounds, and hold a copy of. However, you can create private blockchain ledgers too. Secure. All data on the blockchain is tied together securely with encryption. Efficient. The blockchain is relatively cheaper and faster to use in comparison with your usual ledgers. Pseudonymous. Users have the option to remain largely anonymous when transacting on the blockchain. So, how do you access a blockchain? In previous lessons, we spoke about public keys and private keys. Just like to enter a house, you need a key. Blockchains have keys too, called digital signatures, which are used to authenticate any transaction you make on the blockchain. So the blockchain ledger registers that transaction A with digital signature 1 was authenticated by person X. Each digital signature has 2 unique keys, a private key and a public key. Your private key is super secret. Don't ever give it away. I was once asked by a scammer for my private keys to authenticate a transaction I had made on the Ethereum blockchain, and I foolishly gave it over without even thinking. I may as well have given away the password to my bank account. Thankfully, nothing happened, but it's a lesson many of us learn the hard way because there is no way to recover any stolen funds once your private key is in the hands of another user. When you make a transaction, your private key validates your public key, which can be shared with others. As we mentioned, your public key is like your bank account details and allows people to send you funds directly to your wallet. Blockchain technology can be used for so many different things like cross-border payments, supply chain management, corporate financing, identity verification and record keeping, even election voting. In fact, 45% of organisations are most interested in using blockchain technology not for crypto but for secure information exchange. When 2 Stanford University researchers, Stuart Haber and Scott Stornetta, outlined the blockchain in 1991, they were trying to figure out how to timestamp a digital document so it couldn't be backdated or tampered with. They sought to create a secure, immutable ledger that records exactly when an original copy of a digital document was created. The blockchain might be a great place to store a deed of ownership to a house, for example, since in theory no one could tamper with or destroy the deed. Haber and Stornetta use cryptography to timestamp documents and arrange the data into blocks chained together for maximum online security. Most people associate the blockchain with cryptocurrency, and I like to think that cryptocurrency and the blockchain are a match made in software heaven. Before I started my cryptocurrency journey, I thought crypto and the blockchain were the same thing, but that's not the case. The blockchain is the underlying technology, a host, if you will, for cryptocurrency. The blockchain can exist on its own and is used for many different things, but cryptocurrency, by its very nature, cannot exist without the blockchain. Owing to its unique features, the blockchain has the potential to facilitate cheaper and more secure payments than what any bank is capable of. In the next lesson, we're exploring 2 awesome uses for blockchain technology. See you there.